welcome to the Leaders Insights podcast. Today's episode, how JPMorgan Chase built data contracts across 50-plus domains. JPMorgan Chase spread its data across more than 50 domains, and then had to answer a question most banks dodge. Who actually owns any of it? That's the story today. Why does this land now?
Because they finally admitted the thing everyone in banking whispers. Nobody owned the data. They ran a data mesh, meaning they broke one giant central data team into 50-plus business domains that each manage their own data. And the instant you do that, ownership gets fuzzy. 50 teams, 50 ways to define customer. That's chaos with a compliance officer watching.
So the fix is a data contract. Sounds like consultant wallpaper. What is it, concretely?
It's a written, machine-enforced agreement between the team producing a dataset and the teams consuming it. It says, here are the fields, here are the types, here's how fresh the data is, here's who to yell at when it breaks. Think of it like an API contract, the promise a software service makes about what it returns, except for data instead of code.
Fine, but you can write a nice document and still ship garbage. What makes it real?
Enforcement in the pipeline. At JPMorgan, the contract isn't a PDF. It's checked automatically before data moves. If the producing team suddenly renames a column or lets nulls creep in, the pipeline fails right there, instead of 3 weeks later when a regulator asks why the risk report is wrong. The contract is code, not courtesy.
You keep saying producing team. Who eats the cost when they break the promise?
That's the whole point. The contract names an owner with a pager. Before this, when a dashboard broke, 4 teams pointed at each other for a week. Now the contract encodes a service level, an agreed freshness and quality target, and the domain that owns the product is on the hook. Accountability stops being a meeting and becomes a name.
This sounds expensive and slow. 50 domains, each negotiating contracts. Isn't that just bureaucracy in a hoodie?
It can be, if you let every team invent its own format. JPMorgan's smart move was a shared template and a central registry, a catalog listing every data product and its contract, so producers fill in a standard spec instead of arguing from scratch. The cost is real upfront. The alternative is paying it forever in broken reports and fines.
Speaking of fines, is this a governance play or a compliance theater play to keep regulators happy?
Both, honestly. And I'd flag that a bank this size lives under enormous regulatory scrutiny, so the incentive is partly defensive. But it's genuine engineering. When you can trace exactly which contract fed a number in a report, you've got lineage. The documented path data traveled from source to output. Regulators love that. So do the poor souls doing audits at 2 a.m.
Give me the failure mode. Where does this fall apart for a company that isn't JPMorgan?
2 places. 1, you write contracts nobody enforces, dead documents, worse than nothing because they lull you. 2, you make the contract so strict that producers can never evolve their data, so they route around it with shadow copies. The sweet spot is versioned contracts. You can change the schema, the structure of the data, but you announce it, and consumers get time to adapt. Break silently, and you've defeated the whole thing.
A mid-sized company hears this and thinks, that's a bank with 10,000 engineers. What can they actually copy?
The concept scales down beautifully. You don't need 50 domains. Pick your 3 most argued over datasets, the ones where finance and marketing fight about the numbers, and write 1 contract each. Fields, freshness, owner's name. That's it.
Last word. One thing a listener does Monday morning.
Take your single most important dataset, the one your CEO quotes, and write down 3 things. Every field and its type, how often it updates, and the human who owns it. If you can't fill in that 3rd line, you don't have governance. You have hope. Fix that first before you buy any tooling.
That's it. The CDO decision tools are live at mba-training.com.